Driver to driver, same car. Do you reckon George is better than Lando?
Should McLaren pick a driver to back, Max could win the driver's title, and McLaren won't get any chocolates.
God, we had a classic apex denial by Stroll on Ocon, didn't we?
I thought that was quite a good move.
You thought it was on?
Who do you want to see win the Cup Series?
You seriously asked me that question, mate? Denny. 11 against the world, baby.
Oh no! He's in defence! The boat's in defence! They're all in defence! Oh, unbelievable!
Sound check.
Sound check.
Cheers.
Gorgeous. Cheers, mate.
Good to have you back at the barber.
Look, it's great to be here, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Tell the people what we're here to talk about tonight.
Tonight we are going to debrief Formula One from Circuit of the Americas and Talladega NASCAR.
That we are. If you're a NASCAR fan, I'll do you a little favour here. I'm going to put a timestamp in the video, and if you don't like F1, then you can just skip straight to NASCAR. So there will be a timestamp. We'll split it down the middle roughly, but we're going to start with Formula One. Personally, I thought this was one of the I don't want to say boring and be negative to start the show, but I didn't think that...
There he is, folks.
It was
straight off the bat.
Yeah, it was. Look, it didn't really deliver. There was a couple honourable mentions in there that we'll mention. I thought George did a good job with his lunge. Lando had a few good cracks, but the nature of this track, man, the first sector is so high speed. I love watching onboard. It's one of the coolest tracks, the way they flow through there, but it just doesn't... It doesn't deliver the most exciting racing because the first sector is hard to stay close, and then to be able to pass in the second sector is not you're not close enough. What do you think of the race?
It's true. Yeah, I'm with you. There was a couple of good little battles here and there.
Here we go. Optimistic, sitting on the fence again.
Yeah, that's me, mate, Switzerland. It's kind of F1 most of the time.
Yeah, but that's because you're a tin top fan.
No, I'm just saying, but if you want pure action, door-to-door, like we'll talk about NASCAR later with how many lead changes there was. I'm just saying you're not going to get that in Formula 1 when the cars are so different.
Yeah, there's not 77 lead changes in Formula 1 like NASCAR.
There was not.
There was not. But look, the coolest thing this year is the championship battle is heating up. Now, we're obviously, we've admitted it, we're biased, we're Aussies, and we want Oscar to hang on. Right now, it's not really going to plan, and the battle between Max, Lando, and Oscar is heating up.
I think Mad Max is coming. I know he's got some work to do, but he's been doing the work.
I know. It's crazy. Just 5 races ago, he was 104 points behind, and he's now only 40 points behind Oscar. So he is closing at a rapid rate. I mean, to take 64 points out of him shows the trajectory that he's on at the moment. I think he's going to need to dominate like he has the last 4 events. Well, he didn't, he's had... 3 wins in a second, but he hasn't had a McLaren 1-2 where he's finished 3rd yet. And I don't think he could afford to have one of those if we're going to call him a contender for the championship. But at the same time, I don't think you can say anything but the fact is he is a contender now. I think even the bookies I've put in here, some of the betting agencies actually have Max paying the same odds as Oscar to win the championship.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
I think it's weird too, like mid-season or... they're more than halfway, but the trajectory's now changed. Like, because we know Formula 1 is so car dependent. Yeah. It's interesting that all of a sudden they've found something. Have they found something, or I guess have McLaren dropped the ball a little bit? I would still argue McLaren is potentially faster than the Red Bull. I don't think they're doing the best. Well, we know their stops are not great at McLaren. Like, there's things in the race I think they could definitely do better and execute better. In qualifying, I think they're so close at times that the driver is the separator. Yeah. And I think Max is just... unbelievable.
Yeah, like it sucks when an Aussie's leading the title, but right now sitting here, I would still say Max is the best driver. He might not have the best car, but the fact he's dragged that thing to within championship contention after the mid-season, we've got the points since the summer break here. Because that's really what's transformed. I think it was before the summer break was when he was over 100 points behind. Yep. And since then, he has scored across the last 5 races 111 points to Norris's 57 and Piastri's 62. The standout and surprise in here is George Russell. Since the summer break.
Georgie.
Since the summer break, he is the second highest point scorer. And I still raise the question, like, why are people sleeping on George? He's only just got his contract renewed. He says it's 26 and beyond. The rumours are that it's 26 only. Right. But why would you put a performance clause like that in that kid's contract? And how is he still underrated somehow?
I agree. He's is it because he's too nice, do you think?
Maybe. He doesn't, even though he does that thing, there's just no aura about him, is there? Unfortunately, like, people aren't He does get slept on. Like he dominated against Lewis.
Yeah.
Kimmy, when he started, they were pumping him up as the next Lewis, which is crazy because
George just smashed him.
Yeah, your teammate now just beat Lewis, and then and now George is toweling him up as well. And even at Williams, like we talked about last show when he turned up for that one race, and I think Bottas out-qualified him, but he would have gone on to win that race without the Mercedes pit stop dramas when he replaced Lewis for one weekend. So he is a superstar. He was kind of thought of like a superstar for his time at Williams. And then as soon as he went to Mercedes, they more talked about what's going on with Hamilton. Why is Hamilton not performing? Or why is he not getting, it's the car's shit. But they kind of just ignored the fact that George was still out-qualifying and beating him more often than not. So, yeah, it's sad. No one cares. But I am giving him an honourable mention here because since the summer break, he's the second highest point scorer. He's had his contract renewed. And I think if Mercedes give him a wagon next year, he will be someone to watch for the championship. Driver
to driver, same car. Do you reckon George is better than Lando? 2 Brits.
Oh, that wasn't in our notes. You're throwing that one on me.
I'm going rogue tonight, Jesus. Mate. Hold on to your hat.
I'd actually say, yeah, right now I would.
That's why I asked the question. I was getting that vibe from you.
Would you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's a big call. Yeah, George or Lando. I'm taking George.
Especially George seems to have found his a little bit of aggression more lately too, which I think would, if it was a dogfight,
Yeah, some of his passes, I mean, he just doesn't really seem to make too many mistakes, and that's probably the Achilles heel for Lando. I think Lando is unbelievably fast. He's good in the races, but he does fluctuate a bit.
Well, a few of our hunters here in our comments are saying, 100% George. So the feeling is shared, which is good for George fans or George himself.
It's funny, isn't it? Like it's the amount of feedback straight away picking George.
I wouldn't have thought there'd be that many. I would have thought people wouldn't have thought that, but it's good that they do.
Yeah, it surprised me because I think I sort of get the vibe that he's underrated. Maybe he's just not talked about as much, but he's rated really highly because, you get the
everyone's
feedback
going
straight away, everyone.
Hayden Vincent said George Russell is the most underrated driver on the grid. Probably agree. As you say, for how much people talk about him versus how good he is, you're probably spot.
If you're a supercar fan, you'll get this reference. Spencer GM just put in there, Scott's Chev would smoke Max easily.
Oh, without a doubt.
Tremont, Lando thinks he's top shit, and that messes him up. I don't disagree with that. I think there's an element of like entitlement that's like I'm better than the rest, and that does sometimes. Well, maybe he doesn't believe that deep down though. It's kind of like a bravado because he does have self-doubt as well.
I think every athlete, regardless what you do, has moments of, am I good enough or what,
I don't get that from Max. And not in a bad way. But
actually, probably other than Max.
I don't think Max has any self-doubt.
No, you could be right there.
He did an interview recently where he said, if the car's good enough, I'll win.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, it's true. If the car's the best car out there, you
should.
Talking points, mate. Let's get into the sprint race. Lando and Oscar crash at turn 1 in the sprint. Thoughts?
I actually think this was not one of the first, because Oscar has made a few mistakes recently, but I think this was one of the cracks in Oscar's championship campaign right now. I think, if I'm honest, I put the blame on him. I think he switched back on Lando as if Hülkenberg or the others were just going to vanish. And I think he's so good at, I've heard Mark Webber talk about him when he watched him coming up through the ranks. He very rarely got caught up in incidents or made poor judgments. And that was referencing around the Monza time when he went around the outside of Lando on the race start. And he just judged it perfectly, the gap, and, got through the chicane side by side and took the position. But to see that move, it was kind of like a lack of awareness. And you don't ever see that from him.
Yeah.
I think the switchback was a great move if it was just Oscar v. Lando. But unfortunately, I say Oscar, maybe I put that on him. Where were the others going to go? I mean, I think that Hülkenberg got unfairly blasted immediately by Zach, which I kind of like in a way because Zach's always going to be his boys first.
Yeah.
But then you do have to reserve comment sometimes. And even as a driver, you always like to think you're in the right, but you do have to watch the vision first.
100%.
Because your judgment's off a little bit. You're a little skewed.
Yeah.
And I did feel for Hülkenberg because where's he going to go? He was already on full lock pretty much, and he had Alonso down the inside. What did you think of the incident? Who do you think was responsible?
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. First glimpse, I was like, racing incident, but then I watched it back a couple of times. I was like, essentially Oscar turned down on a car that was there. So I tend to agree there was a lack of awareness. Did he think they got better starts than the group behind him and they weren't as close, or he just didn't see in his mirror? I'm not sure. But there was nothing. I don't think Hulkenberg did anything wrong.
Yeah.
He was just racing. Maybe, Oscar just misjudged how much he had to check up to cut back on, and that was enough for the other cars to bring their nose up. And obviously Alonso was on the other side of Hulkenberg. So, Hulkenberg definitely couldn't do anything. It was just 4 guys racing hard into turn 1.
Yep. The one that surprised, I do agree, but I do put the blame on Oscar. This one, I think, and that's
you had to blame someone.
Yeah.
Oscar.
And that's where I think the uncharacteristic or whatever you want to call it, but I think maybe the championship that was his opportunity to get Lando, and he kind of forgot about the rest, which is a little bit unusual for him. So, but one thing I did love to see was Alonso down the inside, and I thought he got very unlucky to actually get caught up in it. He nearly made it through.
Yep.
And if he did, he was coming out in second or third.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually a really good move. He wasn't out of control. He just got unlucky and got tagged. But yeah, I thought good on Alonso to have a crack. The other one we put in here, as I mentioned, was Yuki. His start. Qualified 18th and finished 7th. But his start was unreal anyway.
Yeah, his first corner, and he did well to dodge all the cars. He actually ran over the nose.
He did, yeah. He dragged I think it was Alonso's nose around for half a lap.
Yeah, but still passed so many cars, and he was hard up against the inside pit wall. And like under brakes, he grabbed, I reckon, 5 or 6 under brakes.
Yeah. A few people after, I think it might have been Behrman, said that he is driving. I mean, it was because of their incident. Behrman thought his driving's been dangerous lately. But I think at the moment in Formula One, one of the drivers even said it's really, it was George Russell, said it's really a race to turn 1. Once you come out of turn 1, it's about where you finish. So Yuki's going to drive like that. And at the moment, he's on the chopping block, if not already cut.
Yeah.
So he's going to drive with a point to prove. And every other driver's going to have to just accept that he is going to stick it in if he thinks there's an opportunity there to gain some places. And even if he wrecks, it doesn't really matter right now. Yeah. But if he gets lucky and comes out the other side like he did, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So I think, you got to expect Yuki to do those moves. Antonelli versus Ocon. This was one, it didn't result in a crash, but, and I actually have a slide in here about track limits. I think the track limits in F1 are an absolute joke.
Yeah. Some of their rules are a bit shit.
Yeah. I think when you're forced off avoiding an incident, that shouldn't be a strike at all.
No.
I think if you're squeezed off track, but you maintain position and you don't gain out of it, it should be play on. Because a lot of the guys, because of that rule with it being front axle in front at the apex, they just unwind the lock then and drive you off the track. And if you stay there, you get penalised for gaining an advantage. And the Antonelli and Ocon one, Antonelli lunged Ocon and then made the apex, had his front axle in front and drove him straight off the track, right? Ocon, if you replay, if you just want to be a dick about it, Ocon should just drive straight in the side of them, both from wreck out.
Yeah.
Because then Antonelli would be penalised for causing an incident because he just drove straight down the inside and T-boned him.
Yep.
But because Ocon did the right thing and gave Antonelli room in what was an ambitious overtake, he gets penalised for it. Like, it just shits me when I watch this because...
It's crazy. And how Gold Coast is coming up, and that's a perfect example into turn 2, 3 there, the chicane on the start.
Yep.
The rule is if you're trying to avoid it, you can cut it as long as you don't gain an advantage.
Yeah.
And you see it all the time.
Yep.
Because it's common sense. If you're trying to avoid a collision or something, or there's debris or whatever, and you don't gain an advantage, it doesn't get marked as a cut.
Exactly, yeah.
And they've got the technology to know, that's, stupid, delete that one off him, that wasn't,
Yeah, and it happened with Lando in the main race as well, around the outside of Leclerc. Leclerc just drove him off the track. He didn't gain a position, but they actually gave him that as his third strike. If he got another one, he was going to get a 5-second penalty. But F1's passing is so limited anyway.
They shouldn't be trying to make them not have lunges.
Don't discourage it.
Create the entertainment. Don't discourage them from having to go or running wide.
We're trying to say, incentivize them, and then you penalise them if they have to use a little bit more than what's within the white line. But anyway, that wasn't one that probably even made the highlight reel, but I noted it because it just shit me. I'm like, Ocon did a mega job to see him coming and not turn in on him. But then to get a penalty at the end, I was like, man, you should just turn straight in and T-bone it, like let him T-bone you.
Yep.
He'll get done for the lunge, but because you did the right thing, you're getting penalised for it. But you can't obviously do that because you need the points, you need the finishing result. But It's one of those moments when the red mist comes down and you think, fuck, I wish I could just fence him. I hope you're enjoying this episode, but I do have to interrupt just quickly to thank our fantastic supporters that allow us to create the content for you. East Coast Car Rentals. If you're in the market for a rental car, think of those guys. And if you'd like a cheeky 15% discount, AHU15 is the discount code there for 15% off. If you're in the market to buy a car, not rent one, Lancaster Motor Group, we've got you covered for new or used cars. So think Lancaster Motor Group. Quadlock, fantastic supporter of our podcast as well. We use their products every single day on the pod using their desk mounts here. Also, we've used them to create the additional content like we did the Adelaide Motorsport Festival using their action camera mounts. So whether it's mounts, phone cases, they've got you covered. Quadlockcase.net. Now, the website for all of these brands that support us will be in the description of this podcast. Back to the show.
George on Max was a big move, and I think there's something nice bubbling there, like a bit of a real rivalry since what's been going for a little while now, hasn't it? What was the incident? Was it last year that caused a bit of a? Ever since then, there feels like there's a little bit of tension there.
Yeah,
bubbling away. I kind of like it.
Yeah, what was that incident? There was something. Anyway, I can't remember exactly what the incident was, but there is remember they sat separately at that dinner.
Yeah.
But there was. I saw an interview where Ted Kravitz maybe. George actually said to him, ask me a follow-up. So they're only allowed one question per driver when they're in the pen. George actually said to him when he walked up, ask me a follow-up. And that's when he gave him that rant about Max being dangerous and he always drives like this. So he must have been laying in bed the night before just prepping for this fucking speech he's about to give.
Yeah.
So
in front of the mirror and he's practicing it.
Exactly. That's what I reckon. Ask me the follow-up. I'm ready for this. But he then... delivered that message about how bad he thinks Max is and how dangerous he thinks he is. And that's why I do think when they do battle each other, George doesn't back down. He's like, fuck you, mate, I'm giving it back.
He's happy to do a tub.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing is when you got two drivers that good, they can race like that and not wreck. Like that lunge.
Which they did. Max had the awareness. They ran it up high. They went off the track essentially, come back on, all good. Super entertaining for us.
It was, yeah. And did you see Lando's sort of petty dig in the media pen while that was happening?
No, I missed that.
So Lando was being interviewed and it happened over his shoulder and he turned around and was like, oh, just like last year, Max. Like, just can't help himself but be unlikable in, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You're not helping yourself, champ.
You're just like, oh, man.
So that was good, but God, we had a classic apex denial by Stroll on Ocon, didn't we?
I thought that was quite a good move.
You thought it was on?
Well, look, going by the rules, if he just got his front axle in front of Ocon, the move's on, dude. Don't you reckon?
Oh, front axle in front, no dramas.
Yeah. Look, he's the last of the lay breakers, but that was ridiculous, dude. What is he thinking?
Yeah.
He even pulled out like, this is on.
Yeah.
You know, like he lunged him as if, I got a shot here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know which way it is, short-sighted or long-sighted, but he needs glasses.
Specsavers?
Yeah, because you know the thing in the mirror, objects may appear closer than they appear, than they seem. It's like he's got that out the front though. Yeah, he's like, I think that's closer than it appears.
It's on his visor.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking out the front, he's like that definitely looks closer than it is. But he had a crack and it was disgraceful.
Well, he made it to the Wall of Fame. He got tagged by Apex Hunters for going hunting and Apex denial, didn't he?
Do you think, though, there's a point that comes, even as a dad, where you go, you know what, like, I'm going to put you in admin. Driving the car, it's not for you.
How do you want to handle the sponsors, mate?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I get it's his son and he owns the team, but there's got to be the time where you go, you know what, we've got to move him on. Because he's nowhere.
Yeah, I'm sure...
JT put in our chat, bro's got a magnified visor. That's the only way you could think that move was on. But what do you reckon? Should he be sacked?
It depends. I mean, it depends how serious Lawrence Stroll is on trying to make that team a winning team, I guess. Like, why is he doing it? Before, like, if he's just doing it to give his son a career, then no, keep him in the seat and do what you want sort of thing. But if he genuinely wants to turn that into a race-winning team, that's going to win championships and be on the podium all the time, then, he probably needs to park Lance and get a gun in there and try and... I mean, they've invested, they've got Newey and all that. Like,
yeah, what are you doing? You sort of...
It's kind of like you've got to massively rate Alonso, but he's at the end of his career.
Yep.
So fine if you want to keep him in there for a year when Newey's there to maybe help develop the car or something, fine. But you need someone that's going to go and win races and challenge Max, or try and challenge Max and Lando and Oscar and George. You need another young gun.
I would love to see, actually, I've just thought of this now, but someone like Bortoletto, if there's no opportunity for him to get in a good car, I'd love to see him in that car next year.
That's actually a great shout.
Because I think he's a superstar.
Yeah.
And he's not in the right equipment at the moment. It does actually give more credit, though, to Hulkenberg, because he is still delivering against him. But, I'd love to see him in that car. And you're right. What is he in it for? Is he in it to just run around and give his... I don't think so. Because he's gone and invested with Adrian Newey, and Newey's, I think, a part owner in that team now as well. So he's not going to want to fuck around. He'd be like, why have we done this?
Yeah.
If we're going to keep running Lance around.
You kind of either need to... If he wants to keep Lance, you need to keep Lance and get a gun that can win, or you keep Alonso, drop Lance and get... Yeah. You need... You can't keep them both.
Kurt Brewer's put in our chat as well. It's a good point. Lance doesn't want to be there.
It doesn't look that way.
Said, I think it's the old man keeping him there. And you're right. Like, it doesn't look like Lance is even happy.
It's a good shout. Yeah.
And the amount of online heat he gets, even from Apex Hunters United, it's not enjoyable. And there's got to be a point where he's like, I can't be fucked. Like, this is shit, And
as you said, he could go and, like, work in a team and still have a good time and be in the sport. Or he could probably do whatever he wants to, let's be honest.
100%, yeah.
So,
and if he wants to race for fun, go do Le Mans 24 because he's still awesome. Like, he's actually still a really good driver. That's the disappointing thing. Like, he's getting more shit than he's actually still very good. He's just not at that level.
Yeah.
And I think if he was to go to Le Mans 24 hour or something like that in a good car, he could
100%
win that.
100%.
So it's like, I'd probably look at doing something like that. But maybe he just doesn't give a shit. I don't know. I just wouldn't find it that enjoyable anymore.
No,
just driving the car, that gets old.
Like, and as you say, everyone going, your dad owns a team and stuff. That's fine if you're winning or you're like on the podium all the time and you're actually super competitive. But when you're not, you'd be like, this is just shit.
Yeah. Nathan Herbener's put in here as well. This is a good shout. Lance to Chinese F4, maybe.
It's pretty competitive over there.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought as well, just Lewis Hamilton, good to see him more competitive this weekend. I thought that the Ferrari, they did reasonably well. And in the sprint race, he did finish fourth, but he actually was ahead of Leclerc, past Leclerc. And then on Sunday as well, he was more competitive. But I did think it's sort of in the right direction.
So I agree with you, mate. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, it's okay, mate. Go ahead.
I was going to say, should we rattle off the top three for the sprint race for those that don't know the results? So Max won, George Russell was second, Carlos Sainz in the Williams.
Yeah, actually, I completely brushed over that. Again, another podium. Even though it's only a sprint race, it's got to be driving Albon nuts. You'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. But Albon be like, fuck, I've been here. I've been so good. Everyone's been, he's been the guy.
Yeah. I'm meant to be the top dog, and Carlos comes in here with his gorgeous haircut and his tan skin, and all of a sudden he's grabbing trophies.
So that was, good to see. But I'm interested now to see what happens in 26 as well. I think James Vowers said that it's a couple of years. He thinks 2 years until we can see Williams really at the front again. Okay. But it does look like they're on the right trajectory there. So that was good to see. And Albon did finish sixth in that sprint race. So it was actually a pretty good result for the team. But obviously with McLaren going out, Max pulled back another 10 points in the championship after that race. And I did need to mention, actually, there's 5 races left with 2 sprint races. So there's a lot. I even skipped over this actually before, but to show the run Max is on at the moment across the last 4 weekends from a possible 133 points, he's scored 119.
Yeah.
So if he can continue this, and with the sprint races, he's in for a shot. So
when we saw the sprint race on the weekend, with the 2 McLarens going out, they got no points.
Yeah.
So and that stuff can happen quite easily in sprint races where people are going a bit gung-ho and...
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's not the main GP, so they're probably more reckless.
F1 qualifying for the main race.
Yep.
Oscar qualified shit. 0.5 off pole was my note. That was it. I was just, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. I thought he was going to be, and they didn't have long to repair the cars. The turnaround between the sprint crash and qualifying wasn't too long, but they were right. They were mint. But the qualifying was Max pole, Lando second, Leclerc third, George Russell fourth, Lewis Hamilton fifth, Oscar sixth, Kimi Antonelli seventh, eighth was Ollie Behrman, 9 Carlos Sainz, and 10th was Alonso.
Max pumped him too. He's nearly 3/10 up the road.
Yeah, I know.
On second. And
then Piastri, half a second off.
Mm.
And it didn't change in the race either. So I don't really know. It was, yeah. Hadjar had a shocking weekend. He actually crashed out in this qualifying as well, got the crosswind, and had quite a big shunt. And then just, I don't know if it was nature of the track, but he didn't actually have any pace in the race either and didn't move forward. So, not great. Lawson, not too bad. Mention him because we do keep an eye on him because he's only the other side of the ditch in New Zealand.
Yep.
But he qualified 12th.
Yep.
And he was actually ahead of Yuki again. Yuki had a shocker, 18th in the sprint race, 13th in the main race, but did well in the races to come forward.
Yeah.
It was mainly his opening lap, so his turn one moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Got it done.
Yeah. And everyone could say, why don't drivers do that all the time? There's a lot of risk involved. And I think he's just throwing caution on the wind right now and just... Yeah. He is kamikazing it down the inside, and that's where George Russell probably... not George Russell, Behrman had the issue with him, but that's what he's going to be doing right now.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose.
Send a Hail Mary, and if it works, it works.
Yep.
In the race?
Yeah, mate.
Well, actually, was there anyone else in qualifying that surprised you? Or
not really, to be honest. It's kind of...
I thought we were just cracking the race.
Let's just rip into the race, mate. First note, the Ferrari back on the podium. It's been 5 races. So Charles Leclerc got that done. So that was pretty cool for Ferrari fans because they've had a bit of a rough trot lately.
Yeah, I think Leclerc's still... They asked him after the race if he thinks that they can win a race this year, and he's just not optimistic about it, which it is crazy to think Ferrari, like every motorsport fan, it doesn't matter where Ferrari is the biggest well-known team in motorsport, and yet to go 5 races without even getting a podium. And then, I don't know, I can't see them winning a race for the rest of the year.
Not without something going wrong.
So it's just, yeah.
Yeah, as in like, Max and maybe the McLarens get wiped out or something silly happens or, not on outright pace.
Yeah, so it's just crazy to be celebrating the fact that, they're back on the podium and because it is Ferrari. It's not like Williams have had 2 podiums now in the last few races. So, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Ferrari do sort it out because a good mate of mine's very much a diehard Ferrari and this is a very tough period. He actually wasn't a Lewis fan either, so he was devastated when Lewis went there, and they got rid of Sainz because I think Ferrari fans really did like Carlos Sainz too.
I, towards that end of that season, actually wanted them to reverse the decision and keep Carlos and...
yeah, and then the Antonelli and Sainz crash. What do you think of that one? That was where he lunged down the inside and actually turned Antonelli.
Yeah, I wondered if that was the F1 rules creating a little bit of that, like trying to get
encouraging the lunge.
Yeah, encouraging the lunge to try and get, and he didn't get in front of him before the apex because that was the double left. So you sort of run up high and then it opens a bit. To me, like, I don't think you're going to, unless someone's really slow in front of you, to me, it doesn't really look like a passing corner that you're going to be able to get it done without, well, we saw him either running the person off the road or to do it cleanly without them playing their part in it.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard spot to not either run them off the road or get contact. But I did wonder, I wonder if, like, to me it was stupid and Carlos was like, oh, he turned down on me, but it kind of wasn't on. Was that, to me, I thought, I wonder if that's the F1 rule where if you're ahead by the apex, it's your corner, he's just tried to bomb it in there and hope for the best and force, because if Antonelli had seen him coming and unwound the lock a bit, then he would have been up higher and he probably would have got to him before that second apex and been in front. Like, I wonder if that created a little bit of that desperation.
Yeah, I think so. And even Sainz said after, it surprised him that he closed the door as abruptly as he did and then he locked up and couldn't stop and hit him. But yes, sir, has put in our chat as well, Antonelli is better off letting him go to finish in the points without risking damage. Not really, because F1's so hard to pass, you can hold off anyone. And I think that, I actually do think it was... he just got taken out. Like, he literally... I don't think Antonelli did anything wrong in that instance.
He wouldn't have been...
Someone else put in a chat too that there was a 5-place grid penalty given to Sainz. Serpent has put in there. So I didn't see that, but that must be for the next race, I'm guessing. But yeah, I don't think... You can't just let someone go to score points because in Formula 1, especially, overtaking is that hard. I think you can hold off anyone.
Yeah.
And also, it's just not inbred in us. You don't let people go unless it's at a point in the race where there's a massive tyre offset, or which you don't get in F1 anyway, which I've got to know about that as well. But in supercars here in Australia, you will actually see a driver sometimes put the indicator on
Yeah.
And it's not because you're not racing. It's because you want to let them know where to go past, because they might be 1.5 seconds a lap faster on a completely fresh tyre, but you're about to pit or something like that, and then you're going to be coming back. So you lose less time by fighting them at that point in the race.
Yeah.
But if those factors aren't in it, there's no way you're letting anyone go. You're going to fight till the death, you'd think.
And I just don't think he would have expected it either, that he was going to lunge that, because it's not
that's like the key overtaking spot. Like for trying to pass. I agree with you that.
But he wasn't slow enough to I don't think he would have thought he was going to bomb it in and get pulled off without him having to either check out or get crashed into.
It's like turn one though, because I race there in the supercar, and it is like someone's inviting you to go there.
Because of the line.
It just goes wide, and that's where in the supercar it was really easy to pass because you did do whatever it did. You somewhere in the lock and you got them on the exit. But in the F1 it still looks the same, because it actually increases the braking zone because they're travelling a further distance, and it gives you an opportunity to get down the inside. But that gap, it's always going to be a diminishing gap, and you don't see it until later. But I don't think Kimi did anything wrong now. I definitely think he should have fought for the position.
Yeah.
But yeah, still disappointed, because I would have liked to have seen Sainz and Kimi press on to get a result in that, because I just think Sainz, again, he's doing well at the moment, and he's had some bad luck. So in these ones, when he's out with shit happening, I'm just like, fuck, I'd love to see him string 10 races together and see what he's got.
Yeah. I love how quickly they go on the radio and say something, like blame the other or whatever. Like, it's straight away, like he's still in the side. It's like, oh, he's turned down on me.
Yeah.
We're like...
Still wrecking.
They're like still in the crash, and they're like already coming up with the excuses back to the team, which is pretty funny.
Oscar's genuine lack of speed in the race.
Yeah, he just looked like he had nothing.
At the start, I think they tried to sell it that he was nursing the front left tyre because of the long right-handers in the last sector, but...
Yep.
That was only about 5 laps later they came back and Zach Brown actually said, no, this is about what we've got. Like, we're not sure what's going on or why we're struggling so much, but he hasn't really had the pace of Lando all weekend. I think in the back end of the year last year, Oscar struggled a little bit compared to Lando. I hope that's not the case, because it's only, I think, 16 points in the championship now between the two of them. So that is not a buffer anymore. He needs to perform, and I don't know. He had a massive lack of speed though, and couldn't really make. There's nothing you can do then. Hunters, I just want to take a moment to thank one of our fantastic supporters, Shaw & Partners Financial Services. Shaw & Partners are a leading national investment advice and wealth management firm. They act for and on behalf of individuals, institutions, corporates, charities, and family offices. So, if you're looking for advice or assistance with investments or strategies, look no further than Shaw & Partners Financial Services. With a 35-year history and 8 offices strategically placed all over Australia, their financial advisors are within reach and ready to provide tailored solutions and advice. For more information, follow the link in the description of this podcast. Back to the show.
One thing, it's a couple of points ahead, but I just want to touch on it because it was pretty funny, was the race that Alpine had with themselves for 17 and 18th, and then they jumped on the radio and said, don't pass, just hold, we're holding. And then old mates lunged him. I thought that was pretty funny. That was Colapinto lunged Gasly.
Yeah. Embarrassing, I reckon. Telling your drivers not to pass or not to race each other when you're in 17th and 18th.
Yeah.
I'm like, let them have some fun. They're having the worst day ever anyway. You might as well go, guys, just have some fun. Just please don't wreck our cars.
Well, that's why I liked what Colapinto did, because he came on the road. He's like, what do you mean we're holding positions? Like, we're racing, and he's slow, and then he's just like... Like it just sailed it in the inside into one. But it's funny that they're like willing to crash for second last.
Well, even the commentators as well said like he'd actually have to brake to not have passed him there. He was going that slow.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a desperate move or anything. He's just like, well, he's slow. I'm going to go past him. It is bad because you've got Colapinto's another one who's on the chopping block again.
Yeah, he needs to race.
And also, what do? You're going to like rotate another kid into that seat. And it shows that the car is clearly nowhere. Like you got both of them racing each other, 17th and 18th. And
we said it when they give Jack the chop. We said, don't worry about your drivers, just worry about your shitbox.
Yeah. Like they're regretting that. Though I'm sure they're not regretting it because
brought some cash.
They wouldn't have, exactly. And they're never going to, they'd have to prove they were wrong to ever backtrack on that. So unfortunately for Jack, I feel like he was just collateral damage in that one. That's gone. That's unfortunately his opportunity is out of there. And then it was kind of like Yuki and Liam. Had Yuki gone to Red Bull first, I think Yuki would have got sacked and Liam would be in there right now for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. Had
Colapinto gone at the start without maybe the money that was around it, he would have been dropped and Doohan would have been in and then Doohan would have stuck the season out. But it is just the nature of F1. It's brutal, but telling them not to race when you got a driver that's going, well, I'm fucking driving for my career here anyway. And you're in a shit box. I need to at least prove that I could beat someone like Gasly in the same equipment.
Yeah, and your job title is racing driver. You need to race.
100%, exactly. But yes, Alpine are a bit of a joke, I reckon, at the moment. Hulkenberg P8 I put in there was just a mention because it was gutting to see. So he finished 8th, scored points, and I was just disappointed on Saturday that he didn't actually finish the race. Don't know where he would have ended up, but qualifying 4th. And then he qualified 11th, I think, in the main race. Moved forward to finish 8th. I would have liked to have seen him on the Saturday and what he could have done starting 4th.
I'd like to see him in a good car, good team.
Yeah, some drivers, like I would too. Some drivers do seem to do well in
the middle class teams.
Yeah. You know, like
I think Gasly's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that before on the show. But yeah, as you say, some drivers step up to having the winning equipment under them, and as you say, some it's too much pressure for them.
Yeah, there's like an expectation now you have to win. They can't quite get to it, but yeah, he's doing well. And then the last real sort of race note, I feel like we've actually done pretty well here to find actual things that happened during this race.
Considering everyone was saying it was a snoozer, we've done well.
Yeah, Ollie Behrman spinning to avoid Yuki defending under brakes. What was your take on that one?
No good.
It wasn't, was it? You can't react to the driver behind.
No, yeah, absolutely not. So, yeah, because I actually thought Behrman was in the sprint race. Where did he finish in the sprint race now? I'm trying to think, so I'll scroll back up. There was something on the weekend he did, can't remember if it was qual or the sprint race, and I actually thought he impressed me again.
15th in the sprint race, so probably not that.
Wasn't that? Don't know what it was. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was watching an old replay, but no good, mate. No good at all.
Yeah, I think the block under brakes is just a little bit erratic, but I don't know.
They get a penalty for that?
It's tricky. Well, yeah, you should move it under brakes, but it wasn't as obvious, I guess, as it needs to be for a penalty. But it's difficult in racing any form of motorsport. When you commit to it, you can't really back out of it.
No.
And that's why it's so bad when someone in front of you reacts to you doing something, because when you do dart out to try and pass someone, it's got to be last minute so you catch them sleeping. But obviously if they swerve, you can't then change your mind and go, oh, that didn't work, and try and get out of it. That's when you see someone get cleaned up in a big way.
And to pass someone, you're assuming they're on the limit, so you've kind of got to be just over it to actually get it done.
Exactly.
Tyre deg though, mate. You want to touch on that?
Yes. I think that there's no – it's the problem with tyres in general. A lot of them right now are dealing with thermal wear as opposed to tyre wear. And it was just frustrating because watching the race, every time they got close – they would have to back off and cool the tyre again. And they always talk about how hard it is. Like at the start of a stint, you feel like that's your best opportunity to make time and places. But you bring the tyre up slowly because the start of a stint is when you can overheat it the quickest, the most.
Yep.
And it's frustrating as a fan that there's actually no tyre wear because you don't then see an offset in the tyres. I think they need to leave the hard tyre at fucking home base. Don't even pull that thing out. That should not even be a tyre in Formula One.
Yeah.
The medium at best should be used, but the soft should almost be the minimum.
Yeah.
Like they've got different compounds, but none of them really wear. Even in the last stint, it was cool to see Lando aggressively racing against Charles and pass him in the end. But he come out on a soft tyre, drove up to him. The thing overheated. He said, I just backed off for a few laps and then I come back at him and was able to pass him. So it shows there's actually, even on the soft tyre, there's tyre wear they mentioned, like it lost some grip. But thermal is the biggest thing. And that's what fucks racing. Yeah. Like you need a tyre has a really good optimal grip and then cliffs. And then it wouldn't matter if you're 1 lap or 2 laps offset. You can actually pass each other and you might get some real overtaking. But F1 right now, none of the tyres really tyre deg. It gives me the shits.
I agree. I like your point here with the wet.
Oh, yeah.
Just when I saw that, I laughed.
Yeah, even the way I wrote it. I'm like, what's the fucking point in different compounds if they don't use them? Like the wet, right? You've got when do they ever use the full wet? Because anytime it is proper wet, they cancel the race.
Called off.
They red flag it. So I'm like, leave the wet in the truck as well and just give them an inter. because it's really the only tyre we ever see him use anyway.
Yeah.
It's just, the tyres give him the shits in F1, if you can't tell.
No, I got that by that. No, I agreed with you though. Like we've talked about with other racing categories as well, with the tyres. I mean, NASCAR bang on it about it all the time.
Yep.
The tyres what keeps the car on the ground, and when they want to make the racing exciting or change the racing, really they should be probably looking at the tyres before they look at anything else.
Yeah, and we all talk about, like commentators often talk about tyre wear too much. I think they talk about it though, trying to sell that there's tyre wear. So that, you have some reason to stay tuned in thinking, oh, that tyre might wear and there might be an overtake later in the day. Yeah. And we all get sick of talking about it. But like you said, it's the most important thing. It's what touches the road. So it doesn't matter what else you do. As long as you got the tyre right, the racing can be good. And but supercars is a similar problem. Right now we have overheating before we have deg, especially the new tyre. The new tyre is terrible for it. But you do need, I don't care what anyone says, the marbles offline are good.
Yeah.
Doesn't prevent overtaking because the marbles offline are on the outside, never on the inside. Yeah. So the marbles on the outside, if you can pass, if you make a mistake, you pay the price for getting on the dirty marbles. Yep. And a tyre that has good peak grip always offsets strategy quicker. So anyway, that was my thing. Do we want to play the Lando clip? Because I feel like they asked about this. Talking track limits just quickly. The one I thought was interesting was track limits, and Lando... This is really him just agreeing with what we said earlier, but I did hear the drivers asked for that front axle rule. That was kind of one of their things to entice overtaking. But this is Lando's take on the track limits.
I think I was on 3 strikes by like lap 10, so I didn't put myself in the best position. But then one of my strikes was because I was racing. I think that's one of the silliest rules that we have is, we're invited to try and race, but if you race too much, you get a penalty for it. And I get a track limits for trying to go around the outside and losing time to Charles. So it doesn't really make much sense. I think I was on 3.
So that's, ridiculous to me. What did he say by like lap 10 or 12 or something? 10. He's on 3 strikes. And one of them being an overtake.
Yeah.
Which he didn't complete either, by the way. It wasn't actually that he went off track and completed the pass.
Yeah.
But they count that as a strike.
Yeah. Someone, Wacked Man, in our comments here said Hadjar was on 3 strikes by lap 6.
Far out.
So, silly. If you're racing and there's no advantage gained and things like that, as we touched on earlier, mate, like it shouldn't be counted.
No, exactly.
If they can see that you've gained some time by doing it and there's no one around you and there was no reason to be doing that, okay, ping them. But, silly.
The next question I have is, should McLaren pick a driver to back? Because or is it too late for that? And the reason I ask is obviously Max is on this massive charge. And if you go back to, say they were going to pick Oscar because he was leading at a certain point in the championship. Yep. Say you don't flip the positions at Monza after the pit stop debacle. You redress maybe Singapore. Because if you've backed a driver, you would have redressed at Singapore. The gap wouldn't be 40. You'd be looking at 50 points. Because there's every chance in the world Max could win the driver's title and McLaren won't get any chocolates. So should they have picked a driver at a certain point in the championship and said, you're our guy now?
Yeah.
And is it too late now to do that?
Should they have? I'll answer the second part first.
Well, actually, before you do, should I play what Oscar thinks they should do?
Yeah, play.
Not that, of course, they're gonna give you the political answer, but this is when they asked Oscar in the pen about it.
The Drivers' Championship right now. Max is launching one heck of an attack though behind you. Do you feel like there might come a point where the team will need to prioritise either you or Lando, maybe whoever's leading the championship, whatever it comes down to, in order to win this year? Would you want them to?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. We're still so incredibly tight, and we've both said we wanted an opportunity to try and fight for the championship because we deserve it. So I think it's far too close to start picking one over the other.
Now, what do you think? Do you think they should have?
I think it's too late. I'll answer the second part first. I think it's too late for them to do that now. Should they have? I think it's too hard. I don't think so. I think the fans want to know who. I just want to see them all fight it out. I think now it's too late to change. I don't think they should have at the time because, if they had picked Lando, would have the shits.
Yeah.
If they had picked Oscar, then everyone else that is not a Lando fan would have the shits. I just think you need to let them fight it out across the whole season to find out who is truly the best. So no to that, and I think it's too late now, even if they wanted to. But I do agree they could potentially get some egg on their face. With the way that Max is going, I totally agree, they could maybe not have a driver champion this year.
Yeah, that's wild to think the dominance they had. But
so it depends on what their goals are. If they just want to win the Constructors' Championship, which they've done, and the Drivers' Championship, well, then they probably need to make a decision and quickly. But if not, I think it's too late now anyway. I think they would cop that much shit.
Well, they can't now, yeah. I agree. I think that you're right. You can't... Actually, do you want to just turn that back down for me?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think that it's too late now to make a call. I think they... In a way, I think they should have, but you can't when you have two great drivers.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with having two number ones.
Yes.
Is you are giving up points in opportunities like the Monza one where they made a bad stop and they made Oscar give it back. If this was like the Michael Schumacher era, there would be no question over McLaren winning the driver's title and the constructors this year. They would win it. There's no way that Max would be able to catch him because every point that Oscar or Lando have taken away from each other would be going in the kitty of one driver. Always. And at the end of the season, it's going to be 20 points across the season. And that's where I think they're in trouble with having two number ones. It's awesome because it pushes the team, and that's probably why they dominate the constructors like they have.
Yep.
But I think that the driver's title is what matters. If I'm honest, I think that's what everyone remembers. Constructors...
No one remembers that.
No one really remembers it, unfortunately. It means a lot for the teams and everything, but driver's title is what everyone talks about. And that's where Red Bull have this advantage right now because no matter what, Max is always going to get the maximum points the team scores on that day. And that's where they might be in trouble because one driver every day for the rest of the year in Red Bull is going to score the main points. And they're going to be they're just going to be stealing points from each other until the last event.
Yep. And they're only going to be focusing on Oscar's only going to be focused on beating Lando.
Yeah.
And Lando's probably only going to be focused on beating Oscar. And then that's a dangerous position to be in for them because then Max goes, well, I've won plenty of these before.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not give a shit.
Yeah, he won't be feeling the pressure. It's going to be interesting. I don't think they can choose one now, I agree. And I don't know that they should have in the first place. No. But that is the consequence of having two good drivers, mate.
Very true, my friend, very true.
Before we go into the NASCAR, so we'll do the NASCAR next, but I want to give a quick shout out to one of our partners, Lancaster Motor Group. They've got a massive giveaway at the moment. They're giving away a KTM 450 dirt bike from now until the 23rd of December 2025. If you purchase $1,000 worth of accessories on a new or used vehicle on their 4x4 store or in their workshop, you go in the draw to win. I'll put the link in the description of this podcast so you can check out their website. And if you want to go in the draw, check it out. Jump on their website, purchase some bits for your off-road vehicle.
Be a pretty good Christmas present, wouldn't it?
It would be. And you actually put in there as well, if you win the KTM 450 dirt bike.
And you're an Apex Hunter.
Well, if you're in Victoria or Melbourne.
Yeah.
If you come for a pub ride with us.
Yeah, or if you don't have to be in Melbourne, if you want to drive to Victoria and come for a ride.
Exactly. If you win and want to go for a pub ride with us.
Let us know. We'll do it.
Yeah. We're not very good, so we might be really good for your ego.
It'll be a very slow ride, but the beers will be cold and the parma will be delicious.
Yeah. NASCAR qualifying, dude.
Can I have a whiz before we do this?
Yeah.
Copy. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. So we're NASCARing.
This knob thing on top of this hat's giving me a headache.
Oh, the button on top.
Yeah, the button, that's it.
Oh, yeah, I run mine in front. Are you on it or are you in front of it?
No, I've been in front of it, but it still seems to give me the shit. Remember in school when some prick would run up and hit you on the top of the head?
Pop it and
it hurt.
You give them fucking uppercuts.
NASCAR qualifying.
Well, first off, NASCAR were at Talladega, Alabama.
They were.
But we can fire into qualifying.
Talladega? No, you're right. Let's not skip over it, mate. I mean, it is one.
Well, we need to tell people where they were racing.
That's true. I think we mentioned they were at Circuit of the Americas Formula 1.
Yeah, we did at the start.
I'd hope so.
Had we pressed record? Who knows?
Exactly.
The real show was on pole, though. Didn't that shit me?
I actually imagine it would have, mate.
I even commented on NASCAR's Instagram and tagged Apex.
You did. I saw that, yeah. But mate, not to skip over Talladega. We were very lucky to go to Daytona recently. Not for the 500, but that's a place I would love to go to because one of the notes you did put in was how big the crowd looked there. Like Talladega does look epic to go to.
Oh, crazy.
So that's one that next year, hopefully we can get to. It'd be really cool to do. Imagine if we could go
all of them,
go for the 3.
Yeah, that'd be
like
amazing.
if you could go Dega, Martinsville, and Phoenix, depending on where they finished last year. But the last 3 and be there for the championship finale would be pretty epic.
Actually, we had one of our hunters was over there, and they tagged us in it. A video at the end saying, if you are a motorsport fan and a NASCAR fan and you want to go to an event,
this is it.
They said Talladega was unbelievable.
Yeah,
so, it looked amazing. Crowd looked crazy. But, McDowell on pole.
I was a little surprised by that.
Yes, it surprised me.
Yeah, sound check. Well, you're a little far away from the mic at the start. I was surprised. And but anyway, he did get pole. He said it must be every little thing they're looking for around there, because he said he felt like maybe just perfect timing with the wind as well, because obviously wind is always a little gusty, and he just said everything lined up today, and he did it. If you're wondering why we call him the real show, do a quick explainer, Elliot, because we've got any new listeners here.
So for any new listeners,
because Elliot named him.
It's my nickname for McDowell, because in Chicago, when Shane beat him on the road course, he then went and said, oh, well, the real show's next week at Sonoma, and then Shane went and spanked him there. So he was talking a bit of smack, so it's my nickname for him now.
Yeah. He probably would have been laughing, though, because the next note we have here is Shane was 31st in qualifying.
Absolutely nowhere.
Completely forgot.
Disappointing.
It was disappointing. But one positive for this qualifying was it didn't look like it was really a manufacturer's or any manufacturer in particular was favorited at this place. It did look like a pretty even mix.
Which surprised me, because normally you get a trend at most or a lot of the NASCAR venues.
Yeah.
There'll be a dominant manufacturer in qualifying. So it might be a Toyota track, there'll be 5 or 6 of them in there, or same with Ford, same with Chev, depending on where you go. But this one was pretty even Stevens. There was 4 Fords, 4 Toyotas, and there was only 2 Chevs. So if anything, it was probably not a Chev track. But I thought that was pretty good, because it obviously showed us the true potential on all the drivers, because sometimes it looks like unless you're in a certain manufacturer, you might be a sitting duck, you're losing a 10th or something like that. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, exactly. Tremont as well has put in here, see Chase Elliott with his hand on the pillar, ran the whole lap one-handed trying to keep the wind out. I actually sent that in our group chat to Shane, and he just said, yeah.
No, I love that. Textbook Shane, he was like, yeah, saw that. Who cares?
No, he didn't even say that. He just said,
but he just said, yeah. And I pictured him just going, I know, mate.
What's your point? I was kind of like...
Really?
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't know. I sent it and then went to bed thinking I might wake up in the morning being like, because it was odd that it was out of the car, not covering the window, which was unusual, which is what they were talking about in that video, is why is it actually out and around the people, like he's trying to direct the wind or deflect it to somewhere else. Because they do actually, a lot of the people over there was telling us they've got, like, when they get damage and stuff, or they'll have the way they mount the panels, they'll try and deflect the air to get it off certain parts of the car. So I was thinking maybe I'd wake up with some information about why he did it. I got absolutely fucking nothing. So, yeah, cheers, Shane. I'm glad we're in the know with someone.
I wanted some info too, because I'm with you, man. It was a weird spot. Like, it didn't look like it would gain, or, like, I don't know what it was doing. So I'm with you. And it was funny, he had, like, fluoro gloves on too.
Yeah.
So even the commentator's like, we can clearly see this. So that was pretty funny. That was a bit of a laugh.
Briscoe's qualifying efforts this year have been so good. And even in this one, the second Toyota was 7th. But Briscoe, again, just put it on the front row in P2. So
very fast.
He said after... I think it was Vegas, he still feels like every week he feels like he has to prove his worth in that car, because obviously Truex was in it prior, he's known as one of the best of all time.
Yep.
But, man, he is doing it. Like, he is showing that he deserves every bit of that race car that he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, obviously his one-lap speed is amazing, and his racing, we'll get to the actual race. He managed to win the race.
Yeah.
And that's his 3rd, off the top of my head, for the year. So, he's like 2nd most winning or 3rd most winning driver, I think, for the season now.
Yeah, it must be Danny.
I think there's a few that are on 3.
Danny, Shane, and then Briscoe, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple that are on 3, but he's right up there for wins. So he's definitely, as you say, mate, doing it justice. And on his in-lap, he was pretty emotional, I think, which it's always good to see the drivers when it actually means a lot to them.
This must be his first playoff that he's made. Like first championship round, because he's Final 4 now.
Final 4, I think, it would be his first Final 4.
Yeah, so that is massive, and the first season with JGR.
Yeah.
Because I imagine they would have taken a little bit of a risk on him.
Yeah, and, I mean, for JGR, they're looking pretty good at the moment. They've got 2 locked into the Final 4.
Yeah, that is.
So they're hedging their bets. They're going all right there so far. And
if Seabell gets the win, they got 3 of the final 4.
Yeah, and their next race is Martinsville. And I know we had it further down the sides, but I'm talking about it now. I reckon Seabell is a real chance of winning Martinsville because JGR are historically quite strong there.
Historically, so I went back.
Yeah.
Because I actually picked Byron because Vegas, he got wrecked with that, the car coming in and he hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going mega there. Like, I think he had the pace to win that day.
Yeah.
And then, he got unlucky with a lapped car, lost the lead, then had the wreck. This one as well, he was top 5. I think he was 3rd coming to the line, got wrecked, and in 250 yards, he's dropped 20 positions. So I reckon Byron is on. Mm-hmm. And then I saw your note about Seabell. So I was like, well, I'll go back 24 and have a look at the results.
Yeah.
William Byron won Martinsville last year.
Oh, he might have, but I'm pretty sure.
Mate, it doesn't matter. Let's just go one year back. What are you doing? Historically, we're going to go back to the
I just meant
90s and.
Well, I was just meant over the last sort of because it's like Phoenix have a trend that Penske cars are quite fast.
Yep.
I think there's a trend there over the Toyotas and the JGR have been all right because Truex, I'm pretty sure, had won a couple of Martinsvilles.
Okay.
In the 19. So,
well,
anyway, that was just my gut feel, mate.
You're Seabell. I'm going Byron next week. Let us know who you think is going to get the win because there's actually a lot in the playoffs. Or everyone that's in there could win next week.
And I'm just trying to read the comment because one of our hunters has said.
Just quickly before we move on, it's good to see Austin Cindric as well because give him a shout out. He's coming to Australia to race the Adelaide 500 at the end of the year in a supercar. But, mate, as soon as you put that guy back on a super speedway, he's always fast.
Yeah.
P4 in qualifying and top Penske, top forward.
Yes.
Interesting as well, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, forwards were 4, 5 and 6. But, again, Austin, I think when you put him back on a super speedway, he always does well. Daytona, always there in contention. Yep. So what were you going to say, mate? I've
found my comment now. It was Tremont said, no Penske's and it's anyone's game, and I truly believe that. Like if someone else that's in the playoff run can win at Martinsville and a Penske doesn't.
Well, if either of the 2 that are confirmed as well win again next week, they're still not because they're not even in the top 4 at the moment.
No.
So the first Penske car at the moment is 6th.
Yeah.
So even if Chase or Denny were to win again, you've got Seabell and Larson, depending on points, because right now Larson and William Byron are on equal points. They're both on 36. Oh, they're not on equal points. Sorry, he's plus 36 and minus 36 is William Byron.
Yep.
So if Seabell and Larson have a solid day and there's no new winners, their final 4 and Penske are out. Penske have got to win at Martinsville to have one car in.
And the reason why we say that for people that may be just jumping on board in NASCAR this year is Penske are dominant at Phoenix, which is the last round. And so they've won from the next gen cars, they've won every championship at that race because they're just on fire there. So,
who do you want to see win the Cup Series, mate?
You seriously asked me that question, mate? Denny, you know this. 11 against the world, baby.
11 against the world. I don't think there would be a sad person to see Denny win, to be honest. Even the haters, I think, would respect it. But I'm going Briscoe, James Small. Hopefully he gets the win.
Yeah.
We've really jumped ahead here, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. If Denny can't, then obviously I want Smalley to win that.
Yeah. Denny was P17 I'd put in here as well. Qualifying is interesting, isn't it? Whether it's the way the Parc Fermé works, often you don't see – I guess that's what's been unique about Briscoe this year. Qualifies well and races well. Whereas it's not unusual to see Larson in the 20s. Denny doesn't qualify that well, but then they have great race cars.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's the format or what causes that, but –
I'm not sure. I know from listening to Denny's show, he does talk a lot. He doesn't get worried if he's not quick in practice or quality because he's been around for so long. He understands what he needs for the race car to be able to come through.
Okay.
But I don't. Yeah, it is strange that Briscoe seems to be able to do both, and that he's more consistently quick qualifier than the others.
I had actually put in, and you're going to disagree with me here because your notes contradicted mine, but I find the super speedways a little bit boring, even though they are so dangerous, so fast. I know all the risk involved, but just as a spectator on TV, it's different in real life, I imagine, because you get when they're blasting past you on the fence, it is ridiculous. Yeah. But I just feel like the pack racing early in each stage and final stage is a little bit boring because they're fuel saving. But then at the end of the stage, it's the most exciting racing because they turn it up. They go 2-3 seconds a lap faster. They start pushing each other. But up until the last 20 laps of each stage. Man, I feel like it's a bit of a nosebleed.
I think I enjoy them more and appreciate more now since we've been there, and I got fresh perspective while we're over there. And just talking to Shane and some of the drivers and stuff on, now that I understand it a bit more, I think it really is high-speed chess. And I think I enjoy watching them trying to figure out what they're trying to do, because it's all a game plan, right, where they're trying to position themselves and things like that. So I think I find that interesting. I can appreciate that if you're sitting there for the first hour and a half and you've got 2 hours to go, you're like, well, nothing's going to happen until the last 20 minutes. So I can appreciate fans that might think along that lines. But definitely since we got back from our trip, even today watching the energy of the trains and things like that. Yeah. I found that watching the cars and picking, he's going to get screwed, or no, this guy's onto it here. And so I find that stuff now far more entertaining watching it and trying to actually read the play. Yeah. Since we've been there and Shane's told us a little bit about it and things like that.
I wish we got a little bit more data just on KO with throttle position and stuff, because that's what Shane was showing us, that how much throttle percentage people are using, and spotters are passing that on to them to say who's on a run or who's using more.
Yeah, the system they use is awesome. If they could somehow
put that in TV,
put that into the app even, so you could fire up a very basic level of it in the app and follow along at home would be awesome. Because you're right, because it's amazing when you see that cars that are leading that are quarter throttle. Yeah. And you're like, how does that work? Yeah. And then there's cars that are 20th that are flat out, so all that stuff is very interesting. Crowd look huge, as we touched on earlier, mate. As you say, it looks like a belter to go there. And I reckon it'd be fun around the track.
Yeah, I think there's a few obviously bucket list races you got to do, and that's got to be one we try and get to next year, because it does look very cool. And like I said, on TV, I don't think doesn't do it justice, so I'd like to see it in person. I thought it was cool to see Shane racing a lot harder in this one, because that was one of the things at Daytona watching. He was really trying to stay out of trouble because that wasn't where he was going to win the battle or win the war. He can only lose the battle. But then last night I felt this morning, watching the race, it looks like he is pushing up a lot more. He's racing a lot closer on the restarts and things like that. He's actually, and he found his way to the front pretty quickly. So from 31st, he was in the top 10 real quick. Yeah. I thought as a punter watching, obviously most of our listeners are going to be watching Shane and how he's going. And even the commentary picked him up early and said, geez, Shane's moved his way up fast. I think that's good. And it's probably going to be that shows, the progress he's making, because there's still that little bit left at the end as well, I think, to gain, where push comes to shove and he kind of gets shuffled out the back. But to see how much progress he's made in pack racing and getting more aggressive and probably building confidence up, especially on the super speedways, was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think for us, when we were there watching him, he was in the playoffs and they were playing a very conservative game. Yep. So we didn't get to see him in the flesh race as hard as he was. And today, I totally agree with you, mate. I was like, excuse my French, fuck yeah. Yeah. He's having a dip. And I think he even said, because I know Diffie, I think, might have mentioned in the comms that he said to him pre-race that, it's now time to start learning how to race hard and push back through the front before just waiting for, a wreck to happen and being cautious. So, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed watching that. And as you said, it proves that when he wants to do it, he can, because he had the spin, which we'll talk about, where we
can get into that now. Do you want to
coming in? And to me, it looked like he was on that painted line, and that's what's locked that rear and sent him around. I know in the comms they're like, the tyre's different. He's not used to the braking grip. I'm like, no, he was on the yellow line, and it's just grabbed that. It's split friction essentially.
Well, no, it was water in the end anyway, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. Because I was the same as you. I thought it was just the yellow.
I just assumed it was the yellow line and split friction.
That's what I thought. And but I actually wrote, this is where commentators do sometimes need to just shut up and watch, rather than speaking and assuming everything. It's like, because you're sitting at home, and if you are watching on TV, I think the reason all of us are watching and can often come to a different conclusion is because we are watching. We're not speaking over it or trying to just keep the conversation going. You do need to actually watch what's happening sometimes. So I was like, guys, I'm pretty sure he's just braked on the line and it's split friction and he spun. And then they went back and showed it again, because they'd heard Shane's radio where he'd said, I hit the water on the entry.
Right.
And I was like, oh, shit, maybe not. And the commentators tried to sort of argue it, because for them, they would have to then justify why they got it wrong. Yeah. And they're like, no, that wouldn't have been it. No, I don't think so, because everyone else made it in, no problem. And then immediately they showed it, and there's the big puff of water. Like, he hits the water, and they're like, oh, he was on the water. And you're like, man, you guys have just spoke for 5 minutes about
his brake technique and
his
the tyre.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, we're not going about him.
Shut up. Like,
but it contradicted too, because they're like, he's got such amazing brake feel, but he's not used to this time. Like, having good brake feel would mean he would be good on any grip because he can feel the grip.
Change, mate. He's meant to be. That's why he's good.
Yeah, because he feels the grip really well. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I missed it. I didn't realise there was water there.
They even went into maybe he didn't get his brake bias forward in time. And you're like, just stop for a second and think. Like, someone's put in here as well. It reminds me, Jeff Burton is like Scaife as a commentator in Australia. It did feel like that. I'm sitting there like, fuck, guys, just have a breather.
Yeah.
And it was funny because as soon as he said water, you could feel the energy in that commentator's box going, one of us is going to have to say we got this wrong.
Yeah.
Someone's
Who's going to do it? They're all
still
doing these ones.
Yeah, and it is funny because I think that Shane at the moment on the road course is dominating and making him look a bit bad maybe. And they thought, this is our moment to lay the knife in, really get him. This is his inexperience on ovals and this tyre and blah, blah, blah. And then it turned out they got it wrong and he still made him look stupid. I love that. But he did spin into the lane and I thought he was nearly going to get it back if he didn't. Before they panned out, and I saw the grass was like parallel to him. I thought, fuck me, how is this bloke going to actually get away with this? Like, talk about kissed on the dick, and then he didn't.
He was very lucky he didn't wipe out like Seabell and a couple of those like...
Yeah, championship contenders. Wouldn't he look like a dickhead then?
Like, there would have only been an inch, I reckon, between him and some of those cars. So that was pretty lucky.
Yeah, and then bogged. Man, that actually, I know the cars are low, and when they pop the tyre, they struggle. But that grass looked like it was about 6 inches deep. Did you see, like...
It's amazing they just can't get going on, like, even... We saw it in the flesh at Daytona, a couple of events, like, if there's any undulation or...
They're done. They can't get back. So
get moving.
But he did come back for P11, which was an awesome recovery. And, yeah, he had, like, that one blip coming in the lane.
Yeah, so that dropped him back to 31st too again.
Yeah.
And then he come back through. So... Yes, it was a good fight back.
Yeah,
I know you would have too. Probably I messaged Josh, his spotter, and said, "Good fight back." That was cool. So they would have been happy with that.
For sure, yeah.
And that last lap, just while we're talking on Shane, in the last corner he was 8th rolling in that last corner. It was only that he sort of dropped off the train a bit, and then a couple swamped him, and that's why he was 11th. Otherwise, he was going to have another top 10. Like, he was 150 metres away from the line and running 8th. So it was very close to another top 10 day, considering it wasn't the perfect day for him.
Yeah.
I loved watching him race hard, and it just proves that he can get up and race through them, and I cannot wait. I had a few people mess me all day going, fuck, next year he's going to win as many ovals as he does bloody road. Like, people are starting to get...
But even if he doesn't win an oval, if he can score points and good points, he can stay in it to the Roval again.
100%. If he can just run in that 10 consistently, it'll change... it'll change the course with how the playoffs is.
Yeah. There is talk of him dropping the championship playoff format, though.
Okay.
Which is kind of ironic because we've only just out here in Australia gone towards...
Well, this is a great idea, and they're like, this is a shit idea.
Yeah. Our format is a bit different, though, where we do have 3 races at the final event.
Yeah.
And more races lead to the champion rather than just one race. But anyway, we should just quickly go over some of the results.
Everyone else?
Yeah, exactly. So Chase Briscoe won the race. If you couldn't tell, it's all we've talked about. Todd Gilliland. That name, we've been dreading saying that. The commentators must hate that name.
Gilliland.
It's like Malala in Australia. They hate that. Ty Gibbs was 3rd. Bubba Wallace, P4. Gibbs did amazing, actually, to push Briscoe across the line. And
he won stage 1 as well. He had a good day.
Yeah.
Ty Gibbs.
Briscoe won stage 2.
Yes.
But, yeah, I thought that was good for Gibbs to play a big part because, obviously, he's not in the playoffs. But he obviously got Briscoe to...
Give him a little nudge.
Got him in the final 4. Bubba was 4th. Cole Custer was 5th. Bubba had another good day, led 5 laps.
Bubba again was close to like that last lap. He was running 2nd, I think, at the time. And
Carson Hossavar finished up 6th. Tyler Reddick 7th. Seabell 8th. Zane Smith 9th, and Brad Kay was 10th. Van Geer's obviously 11th, as we mentioned. He actually finished ahead of Suarez and Chastain as well. So it was a
top Trackhouse.
11, 12, 13.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? Did you catch, mate, I think I might have sent it to you, the onboard of Hocevar talking to his spotter after they binned, and he's like, fuck, that was cool. And he just like, mate just got harpooned into the fence. And he was like, it was interesting comms.
Was it Gregson?
He pushed Byron.
That's Jones.
He pushed Byron. He gave Byron a big bump, and that's what bumped Busher.
That's it. Busher. That was huge. The onboard of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved Hosevar's radio. He was like, fuck, that was fun. It's like, you did just wreck someone though.
Like literally after the like caution, like, fuck, that was good fun. And his spot's like, yep, agree. And I was like, old mate over here in the fence and having a good time.
Yeah, old mate's got concussion. 3 broken ribs. No, he didn't actually, but he did. And have you seen the onboard of Busher?
Yeah.
I thought someone did, you know how someone will do a funny video and you can split screen it? I saw Chris Busher's onboard and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a meme that someone had made of like a grassroots racer and then put it over Chris Busher's crash. Because did you see his race helmet and everything?
Yeah, with the big piece of tape.
And he runs a clear visor. I did honestly think that was like a bit of a meme or parody or something. But anyway, he got fenced and the onboard when he caught the oversteer because he was just watching the camera. And man, when it went, it turned.
Is that what he was looking at? I was working out why his eyes were where they were. That makes sense.
He must have the camera on the left.
Yeah, okay, because I thought, yeah, okay.
And fuck, it turned fast.
Look at him looking in the mirror. That's the digital mirror that he's looking at. Oh.
Yeah, and because they've had dramas with breaking the hands and stuff, he was trying to catch it, and then when he gets near the wall, you see him off, hits the wall, and then he gets back on it, tries to... It's but scary. Like they're going so fast there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I thought that was interesting just with the radio chatter. And if you haven't seen it, though, guys, just jump on. It'll be on YouTube or...
Yeah, I might try and find it and if I can find it on socials and put it in the video. But one thing actually Shane mentioned to us, we can ask Marcus about it when Ambrose is on our podcast. He said the super speedways were like the only place he always made sure he took his family to and stuff because those hits they're having are man, it is insane how hard they are. Like Allmendinger when he hit the wall, and we can touch on that crash right now, but Jones got in the back of Gregson.
Yes.
And then they turned left, I think, and hit the rear right and hooked Allmendinger up to the wall. You don't know how fast you're going until you hit something. And the onboard of those crashes is actually terrifying.
Yeah, and how far...
That's why I feel bad saying I find the race a bit boring because it's not to disrespect what they're actually doing.
Oh, because in the car, it would be 3-4 hours of just like, well, we've seen Shane's heart rate.
Oh, no, AJ blew a right front. Who was it that...
No, Gregson got into the coloured car, which was... I thought it was Allmendinger.
That's what I thought.
I'll tell you exactly who it is, mate.
Kyle Busch. Actually, I want to make a mention. Yeah. It was AJ. Yeah. I want to make a mention of Kyle Busch actually quickly.
He was having a good day.
Because I think he led 26 laps in the end.
I thought he was maybe going to be half on.
He led 26 laps. He finished 19th, so he fell back. But, man, yeah, I honestly thought, shit, this is... And maybe it's experience on those tracks too where those guys can...
I think a little bit of that. Like, I think from him when he's having a good day, it's just down... Like, I think the car's a piece of shit, but I think it's down to his experience on where to place himself and how to read the play and things. I still would, while we're talking on him, I still would like to see him in a competitive car. I still believe he's like a Denny Hamlin that could still be competitive and still win races.
Yep.
I just don't think... Well, I mean, Richard Childress himself has come out. I'm wearing the hat tonight, which we got from their museum. But even he came out and said, yeah, we just don't have any cars at the moment. So, but I think, yeah, long way of answering your question, mate. I think it's more his experience.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see him in that 2311. I know that was a bit of a rumour floating around that I think it was AI maybe. But wouldn't it be good?
Another fake story out there for us to read.
That was actually funny. I had some people ask me at the Bend and they said, you guys, you know Shane pretty well. Those drug scandals on Facebook,
a few people go to me too.
Are they real?
Yeah, how's he going about the doping scandal? What the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, I'm like, oh, that was a fake story.
Yeah, some of these AI articles, I don't know what's right and what's not sometimes, but that one definitely not.
I just choose now that everything's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I send it to people just to be like, what do you think? Is this one real? Like, did you see the grandma get shot with a T-shirt cannon in NASCAR?
Did you see Stephen Hawking competing in X Games? That's like, it's in the same realm as that.
It is. He's actually an amazing Olympic diver, though.
Yeah.
All right, throttle issue for your man, Denny.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it was in the end. They were, the commentators were going wild again, saying maybe a piece of rubber and stuff stuck in there, but not good. And the interesting thing I found about that was how stressed and how much Denny kind of had a bit of a blow up on the race. He said, can we not get these cars just keep themselves together for one weekend? And that to me is the stress now that he's in. Like he's thinking about Phoenix. He's thinking about making sure that the car's perfect for that championship run.
Yeah.
I think was more.
You can't afford to have those dramas now this time
I think
of year.
that's why he was stressing so much about that situation. Not because of that race, because he's already through it, but he's thinking, fuck, we can't have this shit happening because if we go to Phoenix and this happens, we're done.
100%.
So I kind of appreciated that, like that level of intensity, because he's so laser focused on getting that championship, and he's like, we cannot be having these mistakes.
Which I thought was a little bit critical because you do have they haven't made that many mistakes lately.
No,
and that does happen in car racing. You can have things go wrong.
That was the only thing I thought. Have they had many like failures?
Yeah,
but I still thought, well, he's just blood pressure's up, heart's up.
Yeah,
he gives a shit. Yeah, I don't kind of mind it. If a driver gives a shit, I think that's what they're paid to do.
100%. And we've had a few people ask actually, because I did just drop in Ambrose that. But a few people have asked in the chat if we do have Ambrose coming on, and he did say after Gold Coast we're going to link up and he'll come in the bar and have a sound check with us and chat motorsport. So yes, Marcus Ambrose will be joining the podcast soon.
That'll be good.
Another one we've got lined up as well is Molly Taylor. Actually, congratulations to Molly.
FIA World Champion.
Ridiculous, but she's killing it. So she's going to come on the pod as well. Reached out to her last week. So there's a few guests lined up that should be some really interesting chats. If you haven't as well, go listen to some of our guest pods that we did while we were in America as well. Shane Spotter and Shane was interesting. Yeah, Jess Dane, James Small. They were all really unique chats, very different to what we normally
all of our guests are far more interesting than you and I, Scott. So it's great.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to getting more on.
Far more successful too.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt. What else from the race, mate, did
Fords.
you...
On the Fords. I just thought they did a shit job working together.
Yeah.
I actually am surprised by that because you've got two Penskes desperate to get in and it didn't look like they linked up at all day.
No, you're right.
And Logano led most laps, then faded. I think he actually finished terrible in the end. Where was he in the end? 16th. So yeah, I don't know, Blaney 23rd. And they were complaining on the radio as well, like we're getting no help.
Yeah.
And at this point in the championship, they're normally pretty good at all that stuff. Like they just seem to find each other out there and make it happen, but I didn't think they did an amazing job.
Who do you reckon is the best at working together from a manufacturer point of view? Is there any, like, do you reckon one manufacturer works better than another? I think Chev's quite good. Like the Hendricks guys are always quite good at helping each other out. And the Chev are generally, I think, quite good.
I actually think right now, I think JGR are doing a good job with Toyotas.
Yeah. And I guess JGR in 2311.
For some reason, I feel like it's like Toyota's not a Goliath. I don't know why I feel that. But they do a good job at finding himself on track. Like even Gibbs. Like I think Gibbs did mega to get himself in position to be able to push Briscoe across the line. And then, both Penske cars were together, but they didn't really seem to get any support. And they've got customer cars out there too that were fast. Like, I don't really understand. I just didn't think I don't know.
Do you think they work together? And it's such a... Places like Talladega, you really see how much they have to work together too. Like, as say, if you lose that momentum or the energy of the train, you're cooked. So it is everything.
Exactly. I think we're up to the playoff, mate. Should we read out the points for the playoffs?
Yep. So we got Chase Briscoe and Denny first and second. They've obviously got wins, so they're into the final four. You've got Christopher Bell third on plus 37. Kyle Larson is in position 4, plus 36. William Byron's in fifth, minus 36. So he's got some work to do. Sixth is Joey Logano, minus 38. Ryan Blaney's seventh, minus 47. And then Chase Elliott, he got caught up in a wreck on the weekend. He's now in eighth, minus 62.
And I loved what Seabell said. He said, I'm plus 37, which sounds great, but if we get a new winner, that becomes plus 1.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think he's going from being pretty safe to, because a new winner would put him fourth in the points then and bump Larson out if Larson's not the new winner.
Yeah.
And you are plus 1. So there is no of the two at the back end, 3, 4. There is no guarantee those guys will be in it after. And I mean, Seabell is screwed now anyway because you just picked. Actually, no, you broke that curse.
I reckon I'm good, man, because I picked Bathurst 1000.
You did.
I picked where else? I broke the curse before that. Where else did I pick a winner? Somewhere. It's crazy too because those 8 that are in the playoffs can absolutely win, and so can about 15 others.
Yeah, well, that's exactly.
So it's wild. Sorry, mate, go ahead.
I know that I've already picked William Byron, but I think Larson's due as well. We had said I'd been very he's fallen off. Where's he been lately? He's been MIA, but we actually didn't mention it, but he ran out of fuel.
Yes,
I did. He was in contention to the end. He was actually on the front of the pack, last lap, ran out of fuel. Yeah. So the last few events as well haven't really felt like it's Larson dropping the ball. It's been things out of his control. So he's due a win, I reckon. And
he's the kind of guy that will go and do one of those guys you just can't ever count out. He's with Hendricks, amazing organisation. He's a weapon. That's why I actually think Chase Elliott's a chance of going and next weekend and he's 8th at the moment. But he could easily go and jag himself a win. I mean, they all can. They're all those guys in those positions are there for a reason.
Who do you want? So not who you. So because William Byron's probably not someone that I'd be pumped if he made it in.
Right.
I've picked him.
You're not a Willie B guy.
I've picked him. I don't know. I just feel like there's some guys that are exciting to watch, and Byron doesn't do it. You know, someone said to me once, you always got to do something cool. Even if you're not in contention for the win, try and do something cool. And I'm like, William Byron doesn't seem to do that for me. He drives a 24, it's iconic, but it doesn't. He's not that guy that
doesn't get you excited, mate.
Blaney and Logano actually do, because they race so aggressive. Blaney on the radio is just he whinges a lot, but it's fun. It's actually interesting to hear him calling everyone a fuckwit. I think that's funny to listen to. And if he got in, I'd be like, sweet, he's going to be in the final 4, and that will be exciting to watch.
Yeah,
because it's going to be fireworks.
Are you going to ask me to pick one of these?
I reckon, pick one of them that's not.
It's hard because I've got 3 that I want to go with, and I can't have 3. I'm with you. I really like. I don't know him, but I like Ryan Blaney. Seems like a guy I could have a beer with.
Yep.
I like Chris Bell. I'm a Seagull fan.
You're literally just
I'm going to tell you who I think. I'm just reading through, and I also like Chase Elliott. So I'm going to say Bell. Because I've picked him to win at Martinsville, so.
Okay.
You? I know what you're going.
Who? No, hang on. I'll pick and see if you get it right. Larson.
Yeah, I was going to say Larson.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. Yeah. My second pick would be Chase Elliott, I think, if I can't have Bell.
Yep. Now, my second pick would be Blaney. I just think it'd be fireworks if he's in it. I think if
I just don't want a Penske to win the championship, so I don't want him to go to Phoenix. I know that sounds shit, but.
What I would love to see, though, is Denny in P2 behind someone for the championship and just what he would do to win it.
Oh, he'd do anything, wouldn't he? I mean, they all would.
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. I feel like it's Denny's, I think it's his year and everything. It seems like there's some stuff happening around whether his dad's health maybe, and it seems to mean more right now. Every time he gets a result, there's emotion. His speech at 60, I thought was awesome. I would love to see him win, and I do wonder... Yeah, he'd be I reckon he would just wreck someone hard for that championship. Because he hasn't won one. You look at Blaney's got one, Logano.
This is his best shot to win it. I think he knows that.
Yeah.
So, and he's got nothing to lose. He's been in that position before. You just send it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's our F1 NASCAR recap. We've given our predictions. You've picked Seabell. I've picked William Byron for a win next week at Martinsville, and then it's Phoenix, mate. Then it is the finale.
Yes.
Then we're back on to Supercars this weekend. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight as well on the live stream. If you want to be part of our pre-briefs and debriefs with Supercars here in Australia, sub to Patreon. We live stream those as well.
Yep.
The link will be in the description of the podcast. Thanks to everyone that joined us in the chat as well.
Yeah, good turnout tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in on a Monday.
It's been a fun chat. And we'll be back Wednesday night to live stream the pre-brief for Supercars. Yep. And if I don't go to Gold Coast to...
Sneak on a plane, mate. We'll have some fun.
Hang out with you. I'll be live streaming across the weekend.
And for those that are in here tonight, this was obviously out to the public, but as Scotty mentioned, Wednesday will be Patreon only.
Yep, and that is the giveaway.
Yeah, and that's the giveaway. So hit the link, sign up. We'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in.